I gotta remember to use this microphone. I never remember to do that. So I don't know if it's any better. Of course, I can't see very well. So I think I'm gonna turn it off because my phone is also charging because I did not remember to charge my phone beforehand. So there's no need to have it on. Hopefully I get audio for this. So today I am going to be making, and don't mind my hair. I washed and straightened it, and well, not straightened. I blew it out, and then decided I wasn't sure what to do with it, so I just put it in four twists, and I'll decide on Monday when I have to go to work. But for today, I am going to be making a pencil pouch, and specifically one that can be wrapped around a notebook. So for this, you are going to need um, 10-inch zipper. I get zippers by the roll because it's just easier. Obviously, the zipper pull. And then you're going to need two pieces of fabric. So the first piece, both pieces should be 8 inches by 8.5 inches. So I'm gonna put this together, and we're going to create a sandwich. So today I wanted to see if I could do something different, slightly different, where I can flip the camera. So let's see if I can do that here by moving this a little bit. Okay, I can, yay. All right, so this is what it looks like. I have my piece of fabric here, and you want to decide how you want this. So for this, my longer piece is the top, and shorter piece. So obviously I cut it wrong, but it is what it is at this point, right? So I want the zipper to go this way. So actually no, I do want it this way because then it'll look like this. So that's what I'm gonna do. Right sides always facing each other. You have your zipper like so. And let me see if I can get a bit of lighting here. Okay, there we go. So the zipper, you put it face down, and then you're going to get your other piece of fabric, again 8 by 8.5, and put it down. You want to try to line it as best as you can. So we are welcome if you're just joining me. We're making a zipper pouch today, a fabric zipper pouch that can be hung on a journal. So I actually do have a pattern on my website, but today I just want to walk you through how to make one real quick. It's easy. So I'm going to go ahead and pin it down like so, and then just sew it down all the way. So as an FYI, I always use black thread when I'm doing videos because it's easier to see what I'm doing. So that's done, and I'm going to flip it. So this is what it looks like. But I'm going to take off this. Again, this is a fabric by the yard, so it's always easy to take this teeth is not coming out, but I'm sure this side will come up easier, so I'll take it from the side. Take this apart, and we'll repeat the same thing that we just did here on the other side. So just create a sandwich, right side down, the top of your, top of your zipper. So your zipper's right side facing it, facing down as well. And then just align your fabric piece. This is legitimately like a 10-minute project. Doesn't take long at all. And once you make it, you'll be making more and more. And the fun thing about this is you can make a whole bunch for school. Your kid can take them to school, lose them, come back, and you can make another one. And it's a great fabric scrap buster. So how perfect is that? So yeah. Um, I'm just pinning it down. Make sure you have it fully, properly aligned. Welcome to those just joining. We're making a pencil pouch, pencil case that you can hang on your notebook. So this is the thing, other thing with fabric scraps, right? I make these fabric scraps. Have this fabric scraps in my office, and I end up with lint and things all over it because I clearly use it for use a bin that holds everything. So I'm just looking here to make sure. If you can't see, I'm looking here to make sure that when the zippers come together, it's going to be the right side. So make sure you check that before you start sewing. And then the other thing I want to do is make sure my fabric pieces are aligned. I think I'm a little off, so I'm going to repin this because if you're off, it's not going to look straight and it will give you a clean looking stitch. So let me redo this here. So I taught a virtual sewing class on Thursday, and I'm trying to get more comfortable using YouTube and Zoom because I taught the class through Zoom, and let's just say I had a few technical difficulties. And if you watched my live last week on YouTube, you know that I said I don't really do a lot of lives on YouTube because I'm not entirely sure how all of the tools work. So, oh, hello, Chance. So, anyways, I think it's better aligned now. Yes, it is. Okay, let's go ahead and get this sewn. We'll sew it down. I am using a Brother SE600. Yeah, it's a bit of an older machine. So this is the one thing I always tell people if they say they're interested in sewing, don't go out and buy a new machine. To be honest with you, I think I only have had like 2 new sewing machines, and of that I have a little over 10 machines because I teach classes, right? Here's the reason why. Every year, a lot of people decide that they want to pick up sewing, which is wonderful. I highly commend that. But sometimes, you know how people go with hobbies, they think it looks easier than it actually is, or they don't necessarily have the patience or time to, really do it. So at the end of the day, they end up abandoning it. And then they don't want it in their home, or they have a relative who's passed, and now they don't know what to do with the piece that they just with a sewing machine, so they end up just having it there. What I always advise is instead of actually buying a brand new sewing machine, go on Facebook Marketplace. They have them there. Pick one up at a reasonable price. Like if it's a business expense, you've already added the depreciation value there. So I mean, there's so many good reasons why you shouldn't spend time, or you shouldn't spend the funds buying a brand new machine if you can help it. Now, some people will say no, but honestly, I am a strong proponent for reducing waste. So if there's anything you can do to reduce waste, I always say go for it. I'm going to try to turn on the light because I feel like my lighting is not very good here. So let me get additional light down here. Okay, back here I am. All right, so I think this kind of is a little better. Hopefully that gives you a little better view. So this is what it looks like. I've turned it inside out. Now to make my zipper really lay flat, I'm going to just sew it across. You don't have to do this. It's just that it has a better finished look when you do that. So I'm going to do that for both sides. Actually, let me start with this side here. Make sure you have it pulled down. It gives it a crisper look. Not required, but recommended. So, I'm one of those people where they have a lot of do's and don'ts, and I don't necessarily do as everyone does when it comes to sewing. So it looks cleaner just this way. The one thing I know is always a do for so many sewists is iron everything or wash everything. Listen, I don't have the time and don't want to spend the extra money on my water bill. So no, I do not wash everything before I sew it. A lot of right now fabrics you've purchased most times are already pre-shrunk. So for me, I'm just like, why do you have to wash it again? It doesn't make any sense to me, but some people do. And there's nothing wrong with it if you do that. Okay, so if you notice here, I am not necessarily back stitching, and that's because I'll have an opportunity to do that. So again, crisper, cleaner look. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put back my zipper pull. So earlier I took it out so I can do each side. So I'm going to put it back. Zipper pulls are one of those things I have a love-hate relationship with. Okay, I'll be honest and tell you this. Um, so this might take a bit. Just don't laugh. You can laugh if you want. I'm all about humor anyways, so you can laugh if you want. But it's not it's one of those acquired tastes. And if you watch any of my videos, you'll see that I do a jump because legit it's a jump. I start it and then I put it in because I'm like, if you're waiting for me to finish this zipper pull, yo, we could be here for the next 2 days. And sometimes it goes easy, sometimes it's a struggle, right? So I've seen those videos where they're like, oh, just use a fork. I've ruined too many forks trying to use that, so I wouldn't recommend it. But if it works for you, it works for you, right? All right, so let's see if I can zoom in, or if you can zoom in on what I'm doing here. It's just putting this through. And let's see. I'd love to see your tricks if you have any. I think I got it. Is it? Is it? Nope. I don't have it. I don't got it. We'll try one more time. And sometimes it's easier if you just cut the edge right here. So I just might do that to give it a little bit of a help since I am struggling with it. It also reduces the bulk that you're trying to that comes in there. So let's see now. This is one of those times where I'm like, okay, cue the music. It worked. Hey, yeah, woo. Okay, so the zipper is back in. So I guess that whole trick does work. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little nuts. Whatever. Okay, so now we're going to zip this up as much as we can towards the end. Sorry, I should have done that before I started flipping it inside out and talking nonsense. So I'm going to zip it up. And then, you know what I just realized? I did not get my elastic. You actually do need a 9-inch piece of elastic. I have a... I'm trying to decide, should I use white? Should I use black? I got both. Okay. So here's the thing when you're doing this, right? Because you want your zipper in the middle, we're going to create notches. And basically a notch is just a marker, right? So just a tiny notch, just a little bit. There we go. And it's easy to see where your notch will go when you put the zipper pieces together, and we'll do the same thing here. Now, if you had ironed this when you were doing it, it obviously would have been smoother. But like I told you, I'm a sewing rebel, man. So I didn't iron it. It's gonna do what it's gonna do. We just gonna have to live with that, right? Okay, so the whole reason why we're doing that is because I'm gonna bring this up a little bit, is because we want to be able to match that to the center of the zipper. Now obviously if you want your zipper off center, that's an option, but this is going to go on a notebook, and you kind of, I don't know, for me it's a symmetrical thing, so I want it symmetrical. So you don't have to, I mean, you don't absolutely have to, but for me that's what I want, so that's what I'm doing. If you want to do something different, you can, right? Okay, so let me cut my piece of elastic real quick. I'll be right back. And let's see. I just need 10 inches. No, I'm sorry, I need 9 inches, not 10. 9 inches right there. And yes, I do keep everything on my sewing table. So elastic, I'm using a 1/4 inch elastic. So for this, I'm just going to take this again. Remember we created the notches. Take it, put it inside Bloop, 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 bloop. And then just place it. You can place it in the center or you can place it to the side. I'm going to place it slightly to the side right there. Drink some water. Actually, it's tea, not water. Slightly to the side there. I am going to use my sewing clip. I love these little clips, by the way. If you're a sewist, you got to get these clips, man. As much as I enjoy using pins, I don't enjoy getting stuck. So, or pricked by the pins. So it actually works out. Okay, so now that we have that elastic piece in there, we're gonna sew a straight line across. Oh, hello. I'm gonna apologize. I don't know what you said, but I'm assuming you're saying hello. So hi, Nada. Hi, Hilo. Hi, Carmen. Hopefully you're finding this helpful. So we're gonna go ahead and sew this down, and make sure you don't have your zipper head next to it, so you don't break your sewing machine. And then just a reminder, make sure you put your zipper together, because at this point your zipper is not together. You obviously opened it, so. So this is what it looks like. This isn't straight, so I'm going to straighten it a little bit. So while teaching yesterday, I told my student, I said, listen, every sewist makes mistakes. So you see how this is? The great thing about being a sewist is you can always fix your mistakes. And when in doubt or something goes wrong, that's what seam rippers are for. Rip it. You don't have to live with the mistake, especially in, see, now all set. Now for this one, I know that people do like to use binding, bias binding. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to use that. I find that whenever I use binding, like I run into problems. But actually, you know what? This is a great video to do that, so I will get that. And then again, repeat what you just did on one side on the other side. Have your elastic here. Make sure it's on the right side so that it doesn't cross over your zipper. So I'm just looking here, pulling it through to make sure it's right on my zipper there. And then I am going to clip it. There's my clip. And actually, no, I don't have it in the right place. See, I'm glad I used that notch. This is the importance of having the notch. I was just about to sew and just realized, nope, it's not in the middle. So notch has to be in the middle. And maybe this is a good reason why you iron, because if I had ironed it straight, it would have been there, right? And I wouldn't have any problems seeing that. But it's all good. No harm, no foul, as my little one will say. Okay. All right, so that's that. And now I'm just going to iron it straight down. But before that, I want to get some bias binding so that I can use it on the ends. So I'll be right back. Let's see. I have different ones. I'm trying to decide if I have one that's already open or if there's one. Nah, it's not open, so, but it's been sitting there for a while, so I guess I get to use it today. There we go. This is black bias tape. It is for, let's see, a 1/2 inch. So I'm gonna use it for both sides. Just, when I'm done. So let me just see how much I need. There. Cut it. Double. And then just cut this itself in half. Okay, so this is not a beta. If you don't already have one, this is a Geiger pair of scissors. Oh my god, it's a sewist dream. Love it. I've had the same pair of scissors for, oh gosh, if not 10, maybe 12 years. Yeah. Actually, I think no, a little over 11 years. I've had the same pair of scissors. Now that I think about it, I remember when I bought it. Like, it hasn't dulled. Never had an issue. So, anyways, now back to this. I'm going to sew it straight down, and make sure I'm getting it straight down. Just go around so that it all aligns properly. Okay, this one is much better. Oh, why did I put my scissors the way I need it? Lint. If you sew it, you have to love lint or be used to it. I'll take it out from here. And then just I actually have a little bin here. I don't know why I'm using the trash can when I have a little bin sitting right on my desk. All right, so this is what it looks like. Now, I want to use the binding on each side. I'm gonna open that a little bit. This might be a little small, but it will have to do. I think a ½ inch is probably preferred over. Actually, I think I said it was a ½ inch, right? It is a ½ inch binding. It's just, it seems a little narrower. And then just bind it over. There we go, and I will repeat the same thing on the other side. Okay, so I guess when you buy binding, it's put together like this, right? So you just want to take the top. I should have mentioned that. Take the top, align it, and just sew it down, or you can, clip it down, and then when you put it over the top, it will stay. So you first sew it down. Of course, this is black, so it makes it a little hard for you to see. And fold it over and do a quick inch cover. Okay, and we're just going to, we're almost done here. Snip off. Snip off the edges. And then we're going to turn it inside out. Get rid of any loose threads. And our elastic is right here. Gonna get the ends out a little bit, and voila! You have your very own pencil pouch. Now, if you want to iron it flat, you have that option. I keep this little, I don't know what they call, pokey stick. It's what I call it because I use it to poke out my corners. I keep it in on my sewing desk so that I can use it. But oh my gosh, I have been holding that sneeze for a long time, so I am so happy it finally came out. Anyways, so there it is. Okay, so pencil pouch is done. I can get some pencils right here, and I'm just going to throw them in here. And then zip it up. If I had anything else, I would put it in there. And then actually, and I also have a pen that I typically, this is my journal, that I typically would have, let me move that a little bit, on the spine of my journal, but I can just take this, throw it in here, put this in here, close my journal, and voila! Look at that. How cute is that pencil pouch? I love it. What do you think? So, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And if you're not already doing so, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. So today we made this cute little pencil pouch that works great, and we made it. It would have taken less than 10 minutes, or about 10 minutes if I hadn't spent most of my time looking for stuff that I should have had pre-cut ahead of time. But it is what it is. We're not going to talk about that. Okay. All right. Well, you all have a wonderful one. Take care and see you later.